Good morning, taste buds and Opa. Oh, you don't know what Opa means? It means I'm Michelle Bernstein. Join me today for some of my favorite Greek recipes. It's a culinary tour of Greece today on SoFlo Taste. And of course, that's a loose translation. How fun is that? Taste time again. I'm Chef Michelle Bernstein, and this is the Goya Kitchen at JA World in Coconut Creek. Ever been to Greece? Ever stood in Acropolis? Ever sailed the Greek Isles? Ever eaten Greek food? Well, I'm here today to make one of those wishes come true for all of you, because today I thought it would be fun to cook up some wonderful Greek food. So let's get cooking. Opa! I've always wanted to make this soup. It's called Avgolemono, and it is an egg and lemon soup that comes together just beautifully. So we have already poached chicken, and we took a couple of breasts and a couple of legs and thighs and poached it in chicken stock. After you poach the chicken and it's fully cooked, take the skin off and then just pick it with your fingers into little thin pieces, all natural. You don't even have to use a knife. This is all done by hand. So this is what's left, and this is just the chicken stock reducing down. And you need to season it. We're gonna add some salt and a little bit of pepper to the broth. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take about a cup of the broth, which is about half of it. And let's go ahead and put the hot broth into a blender. To that, we're gonna add about a half a cup, and I'll just eye that, of some cooked white rice, 2 yolks, and lemon juice. So this kind of is up to you how lemony you want it. I start off a little shy, and then I keep adding if I want to. So I'm just gonna start out with about a 1/4 cup of lemon juice, and we'll see where we get. Let's go ahead and blend that until nice and smooth. Okay, while that's blending, we're gonna go ahead and into this liquid that's still warm, I'm going to add some of the pulled chicken. I don't think I'm gonna add all of it, but most of it. I'm going to add a little bit of rice, and if you'd rather use at this point orzo, you can use that, but you really need rice to thicken the soup. Then we're gonna add a little bit of chopped dill. Don't chop it too fine, about like so. We'll add some of that to this. And then finally, to thicken the soup, we're going to add this mixture and bring it up to a simmer. So while I add the soup in, I'll be stirring it. So obviously what this does is it thickens the soup while flavoring the soup. All right, let's give that just a moment to simmer, and then let me show you how to serve the soup. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna taste the soup and see where we are with salt, as well as with lemon, because like I told you, you can always add a little more lemon. It's delicious. I would add just a little bit more, as well as a little bit more salt. This is really a balance. This is what you have to do here. Anytime you use an acid like this and something so savory, it's really important that you balance it out. And then let's go ahead and serve this gorgeous soup. It's really so pretty. It almost just looks like a creamy chicken soup, but it's lighter because it does not have any cream. It just has the yolk, which totally disappears, by the way. And look how inviting that is. And that is our beautiful Avgolemono soup. Let's top it with a little bit of fresh dill. Yum! More Greek recipes even Zorba would love, so come right back.
Stick around. Things are just heating up in the Goya Kitchen at JA World on SoFlo Taste.
Welcome back to SoFlo Taste, where I'm giving you some Greek recipes. All of my Greek recipes are available on the SoFlo Show's webpage. Just scan this quick response code and you're off to SoFlo Show's recipe page. You'll also see it on the ingredient list throughout the show. Now back to my Greek island hopping tour of food. So of course I had to make lamb, and it's been a while that I made a lamb leg. And so I went over to see my friends over at Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market, and I asked them if they had lamb leg, and sure enough I asked for a bone out, and they wanted me to tell you that starting Monday and running through the 29th, all veterans who stop by Delaware will get a free 4-ounce container of their famous smoked fish dip and a side of crackers. How nice is that? It's their way of saying thank you for your service. Delaware Chicken Farm is located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood. Just go to delawarechicken.com or call them at 954-983-6831. Make sure y'all tell them that I sent you, and of course that I sent you vets. My love to you and thank you for your service. All right, let's jump into the lamb leg recipe. This is how it comes. It's already butterflied, basically. It's cut and boned, but we're gonna take that a little step further because we're gonna cook it all the way open like that and butterflied. So it comes like this. And this is how a boneless leg of lamb arrives. So what we're gonna do is take a knife and we're just gonna start opening it up to butterfly it out even more. And you just need a sharp knife. It doesn't have to be fancy. You'll see a little bit of connective tissue, which I like to remove a little bit of. Extra fat, which I don't remove. And then just kind of use the knife to open it up a little bit so we can thin it out. Start here on this side, opening it up even more. What I love about this is that all these cracks and crevices are totally open for marinade. And lamb just loves marinade. And so I really wanted to go Greek with the marinade, which is probably my favorite type of marinade for lamb. It's just so natural. Okay, and I think we're good there. You see this? This is beautiful. It's spread open. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pound it just ever so gently, just to make sure that it's a little more even. This is a big sealable bag that we just cut open, and with a pounder, I'm actually going to use the tenderizing side. We're just gonna flatten it a little bit. Like I said, it's just about even. All right, what I love about this is now, as you can see, it's all pretty even. There's not one part that's bigger than another. All right, let's jump right into the marinade. We've got some Greek yogurt, plain Greek yogurt, some minced garlic, some rosemary and thyme leaves, some dill, the zest of 1 lemon. The common denominator is lemon and dill in the Greek food. To me, it just means fresh. Okay, some olive oil and a little bit of salt and a little black pepper. Let's puree this together. Now if you wanted to, you could just keep everything chopped, but I like it like this. Okay. So the best way to cook lamb is really to let it sit out at room temperature for about an hour. So you could put the marinade on only the flesh side, and you can let it sit here for about an hour, or you could put this in your refrigerator up till the next day. And the yogurt, this yogurt, will not only tenderize it because the yogurt breaks down the meat a little bit, but it will also give you this beautiful flavor that it has. So let's pretend that our meat has marinated for about an hour like this, or it's been in the fridge overnight. So I never touch the skin side to the marinade because what we're gonna do is we're cooking inside, right? If I were on a grill, I would let the whole thing marinate in this yogurt. I would throw it on the grill, cook it on both sides, and it would be beautiful. But because we're inside of a kitchen and we're gonna go into an oven, we have two ways we can cook this. We can start in a pan, finish in an oven, or we can go just right into an oven. I would like to start on a pan. So let's go ahead and sear in a pan. We have a lot of fat on the skin side, so don't add too much oil. You don't need to fry this, you just want to sear it. And because I'm doing it in a pan before I go in the oven, I'm actually not going to flip it over as I would on a grill and get the searing on both sides. We're only going to sear the skin side so that we can render it a little bit, and it'll be even tastier when we go into the oven. So I'm just going to throw a little bit of oil in the pan. Make sure it's really well seasoned, even though I know the marinade does have some seasonings in it. So then I'm going to go right into the pan with this, very gently, so that I don't get the yogurt down into the pan. A lot of people don't have a pan this big, so you can do one of two things. You can cut this perfectly in half and just sear, you know, one piece and then the next piece, or you can go into an oven. And I would go into a 425-degree oven, skin side up the whole way through. It only takes about 40 minutes. Now that I'm going to render this and sear it like this, it will only take 30 minutes in an oven. You really want to serve this meat at about a medium rare to medium at the most. You really don't want to overcook it. So when you come back, this will have already rendered. It'll turn golden. I'll flip it over and we'll put it in the oven and see how she turns out. So come right back for even more recipes that started in Greece. I mean, Greece the country, not cooking Greece. Anyway, just come right back.
The fun continues right after SoFlo Taste with SoFlo Home Project, next on Local 10.
Stay tuned to SoFlo Taste. We'll be right back. Welcome back to SoFlo Taste. We're here at JA World in Coconut Creek. For information about this educational wonderland, go to jasouthflorida.org or call 954-979-7100. Now back to the food. All right, everyone. So I want to just go over this really quickly. I rendered all the skin of the lamb until it was really crisp. And the one thing I didn't get to show you, which I think is pretty important, was that I set it over a rack on a sheet pan. Now, one thing I noticed last night when I cooked one of these to make sure it worked well in my home oven was that I had all these good juices under the lamb and nothing to soak it up. So what I did was I boiled some tiny little Yukon Gold potatoes, cut them in half, and then put them in the fat while the lamb cooked. And oh my goodness, they are so delicious. And one of the boys that work with us here asked me if I was making lemon potatoes, and I wasn't, but I have this crazy idea. Why not make some lemon potatoes? So we have these gorgeous potatoes that have been cooked in lamb fat. Let's squeeze them with a little bit of lemon, add a little bit of salt. I don't think it needs anything else. I'm actually just gonna shake it up a little bit and put it right over my gorgeous sliced leg of lamb. And I think I just made that even better. So there you have it, our gorgeous sliced leg of lamb. I put a little mint sprig on there, and then you have those roast potatoes with that lamb jus. It's just delicious. I can't think of anything better. Now, this is Greek lamb, so I might drizzle a little olive oil over the top of it, get some really good Greek olive oil. I have Spanish, don't tell anybody. And just drizzle it over the top. The lamb itself, because of the marinade, has such a natural, beautiful flavor to it. I don't really think it needs anything else. So to go with this lamb, I'm making a beautiful Greek salad. And I love Greek salad, and there's so many ways, different ways that you can make Greek salad. You can throw some watermelon in there. I guess you can have some romaine lettuce if you wanted to, or turn it into your own with arugula or watercress, or just, I don't know, make it differently. But I'm gonna make you a bit more of a traditional Greek salad. So I've got some peeled and chopped up English cucumber, because I love English cucumber. And then, so here's your decision. Kalamata olives or oiled cured olives. Up to you. I find calamatas from my palate to be a little intense, so it's not really my olive of choice, but I know that traditionally it goes beautifully and it goes great on a lot of different things, but I love oil cured. So if it's okay with all of you, I'm gonna use oil cured black olives. Okay, next, some people use green pepper, some don't. I actually don't love raw peppers, but for some reason in Greek salad I always look for it. So to cut a pepper properly, I like to cut off the top and the bottom, and I save these when I make sofrito, but that's another show. So I'll put those down there, and then I cut around the seeds. So let's go ahead and cut a couple of slices for this salad, like so. And let's go ahead and cut these really nice and thin. So you ever notice when you cut either a tomato or a bell pepper, whatever has skin, your knife doesn't work all that well. They just don't cut all the way through something with skin. So very simply, turn it over, because your knife will work better on the flesh side. So using that advice, go ahead and slice nice thin slices of your pepper. I guess that would be called a julienne. Let's do that one more time. Nice thin. If you like your peppers smaller, then cut them down. All right, put this in your salad. Next, I wanted to show you a fun trick for cherry or grape tomatoes. These are the lids from like Chinese soup to-go containers, these plastic lids. So make sure they are right side up and the other one is right side down. We're gonna throw our tomatoes, whatever fits perfectly flat, like so. Put this, oh, no, I was wrong. Put that side, yeah, that side up. So they're both side up. All right, and let's go ahead and slice, keeping your hand on the top lid, holding them all steady. And see that? They're all perfectly in half. How easy is that? Okay, so there's the tomato. I think the last, call it a vegetable, I guess, is gonna be a little bit of red onion. And let's slice the onion into nice thin slices. I'm gonna go in half once, and then really nice and thin. I don't like too much onion in my salad, but I do like a little. So I think that amount is perfect. The next is dressing and herbs. So some people like to chop herbs and put it into their vinaigrette. I personally love to eat herbs. So I have some Italian parsley leaves that are gonna go right in there. I have some dill that I'm just gonna kind of rip and throw them in. And then I've got mint. Not a typical herb going into Greek salad, but I'm addicted and I love finding mint in my salad. I just think it makes it so good. Next is the vinaigrette. I've got a little bit of lemon, which we're just gonna squeeze into some olive oil that I have here. It's not like super fancy extra virgin olive oil, it's just like an everyday type of olive oil. We don't have to go that fancy with our Greek vinaigrette. Okay, take a little bit of red wine vinegar, and it's usually about a 3-to-1 ratio. If you don't like it too acidic, you can go 4-to-1 ratio. 4 would be the oil, 1 would be the vinegar. Salt, some black pepper, and a little bit of oregano. And then finally, the feta cheese. The better the feta cheese, the better the salad. My favorite fetas are either Bulgarian feta or French feta. I know the Greek feta is absolutely delicious. I'm just telling you my personal favorite. They're just a little creamier to the tongue. So instead of crumbling it up, let's just go ahead and give it a nice slice for the top of the salad. And when you come right back, we'll put this all together and make something very pretty. See you in a minute. SoFlo Taste will return right after this. Thank you so much for coming along on my culinary tour of Greece. Greek food has a long, long, wonderful history and tradition. I hope you try some of these and will add them to your recipes from around the world. So the last thing I just wanted to do real quickly was add some feta cheese in those big chunks, and of course spoon some of the vinaigrette over the top of the feta. I don't think you missed the lettuce at all. So next week, it's the first weekend of summer and I have food for it. I'm Chef Michelle Bernstein. Join me on the next SoFlo Taste for a virtual pool full of recipes for Memorial Day pool party. So join me because it will be fun. Now let's peek in on design expert Elena Capra. Good morning, Elena. What you got for us today on SoFlo Home Project?
Hi, Michelle. Good morning. So in home design, much like in fashion, there are trends, but then there are also classic looks that last forever. Coming up on SoFlo Home Project, we take a look at ways to bring timeless and elegant design into your home.
Thanks, Elena. I love modern design. We'll be watching. So Taste Buds, thanks again for watching. I love our time together, so be smart, be safe, and be vaccinated, and I'll see you next week. Now stay tuned for Elena Capra and SoFlo Home Project. Goodbye, good health, and very good taste. It's time to Play-Doh the food.